All right, Dynamite Delight, up in your face, sorry. Guys, I'm looking at Forbidden Door. You know what? I'm not going to say anything yet. Let me go through the show, then I'll give my final thoughts. And this ain't going to take long because we only had 3 matches. Rarity. First match, it's a 6-man tag. Death Riders versus Tanahashi, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight the Jet. Let me give it to you like this. The one major factor in this match was only one man. One. Hiroshi Tanahashi himself. Everything else didn't matter. It was about how well Tanahashi could go in the ring. And, of course, you saw the opening. You saw what happened with Will. Yes. The way Will talked was pretty good. Seeing Moxley come out facing him and he said, simply, if you don't want me there at that war we're about to have, take my head off, but you do it instead of your goons. We get the fight and then we get the match. The key here is Tanahashi. I'm sorry. I said it earlier, days ago. I don't know about JD, how he feels. I have not seen any of JD's videos or Alex's videos in more than a few weeks. Like I said, I was working on animation, so I did not see it. So I didn't see their reactions or their reviews of the show. I don't know if they're happy with Tanahashi, but as far as I know, both of them are not going to be fond of seeing Hiroshi Tanahashi get into a ring that's a steel cage and do a damn match like that. The guy can barely walk, and when you saw him taking his jacket off and he's walking down the ring, not running, walking because he can't. The guy is 48 years old or 47 years old. His knees are completely shot. He can barely do them. And when you watch the match, and mind you, I want to make this clear. It was not that bad what I saw. He was able to do a gunshot drop kicks. He did try to do some corkscrew. He did try to do a. That sling blade looked bad. It did not look good. He did do a corkscrew, dragon screw, not corkscrew, a dragon screw a couple of times. That looked sloppy. He tried. Let's make it clear. I'm not taking anything from Tanahashi. He tried to make it look really good. He really wanted to put his best foot forward. He tried. But let's be honest here. He has blown out knees. His knees are done. He cannot move around the ring like he should. And it shows no matter how hard he works. And now we're supposedly, Jon Moxley's afraid of Hiroshi Tanahashi. Which he isn't. And the key here is that I gotta believe that Moxley is being screwed over by Hiroshi Tanahashi. That he can't handle him. And the only way to compensate is to use Darby Allin and Will Ospreay. 2 guys that can go heavily. And yes, we did get the conglomeration come out. We did get the Bullet Club coming out, the one that's currently going on with Nick Gage, not Nick Gage, what is the guy's name? Gabe Kidd, sorry. I think his name is Gabe Kidd. I don't see him much, so I don't remember. Guys, this match with Tanahashi in it just feels wrong. It just does. If you're going to go all out and make the entire thing mean something, Tanahashi shouldn't be there. That is not a match for him. But they threw him into that match, and it's throwing off the match. And I'm not even saying this story is even that great either. I'm going to say it again. Moxley should have went away for more than a few months and then came back. He could have had his title shot months from now. He could have done that. They should have done that. He should have went away, came back to refresh himself and to make it mean something. And I know people are going to say, dude, that's not how it works. Yes, it is. He has been on the go for more than a year and a half. He has not stopped. And I'm not even saying everything before he did the Death Rider storyline. He had been going for a long time since Punk left, since Bryan was needing to have surgery. Then the incident with the VEPs, where he had to take over for that situation, became champion, and then 9 months into 10, when he finally dropped the title, they should have just let him go away for a little while to give himself some time to refresh and give a breather for the people, and they have not done it, and it doesn't feel right. What's going to happen after this match? Nothing. Because then if he doesn't go away or have a total character change, this is the death note for a Jon Moxley, because no one is going to fucking care. He needs a break. Moving on. The next match, which was the finals for the tag tournament. FTR versus Brody King and Bandito. Now, I'm not going to tell you that Bandito and Brody King haven't worked pretty well together, because they've done pretty well. I got to say this. But personality-wise, don't feel it. Now, it could be due to the fact that I've not watched Collision, and I haven't seen any type of interaction between Brody King and Bandito. Maybe there's been some there, and that is what I'm missing. So that's what I got to be honest about. I got to be honest about that. I have not seen any interaction between the two. Only thing I've seen is matches. And that's not enough between Brody King and Bandito. It's just not enough. Now, I didn't see this episode of Collision, so I don't know when FTR managed to take the mask off of Bandito. Only thing I do know is they had the match, and this was a good match. I do believe this was the best match of the night. It was. This was the best match of the night. And it was a loaded sling that Big Stroke managed to nail seeing Brody King bleeding. And they were doing everything they can to leave the camera like this and only chest high. They didn't want to show Brody King having to go under the ring, grab something, and splays himself. Because the people over there probably saw him. Because he was going right over to the ring skirt and he was already lifting it up. So he already got splays, but they did not want to show him. So that just made it look awkward. And then when you see that Dax got on the mic and said, "Don't show disrespect to a Big Stroke. Strokely." The reason I'm botching here, it looked so blatant they were trying to hide the fact that Brody King was trying to blaze himself. Because they would have just went to the ground and showed him. They did. They did. So that's what was awkward about it. Yes, we did get the Bucks. No, not for that. But look, did they cheat? Yes, they did. Did they win? No. The thing that's getting me here was, as I was about to say about the Bucks, I would have liked to see the Bucks come out and screw with them because they could not get what they wanted. They wanted to continue in the tournament. They couldn't, and they would screw everybody else up. I think that would have been a better situation than a double legitimate time run out. A draw. I know it's double. It's not a double count out. It's not a double disqualification. It's a freaking draw. If there was a double disqualification, maybe. But literally with only seconds left and they didn't do anything, I'm like, really? So you didn't want either team to lose when you should have. FTR could have lost because Adam and Christian could have came out and screwed with them, which would have made some sense because of course, I will talk about that in a minute, but wouldn't it make more sense for Adam and Christian to interfere with them? Or the Bucks? No. They ran out of time and now it's a triple threat at Forbidden Door because they didn't want either team to lose. That sucks. That sucks. Now, mind you, in a sense, it doesn't at the same time because everyone has gone up against the Hurt Syndicate and have lost except for FTR. And they didn't want to take the risk of FTR losing here. So then they let Brody King and Bandito, who are very popular now, also not want to get jobbed out. So it's what we got. I would rather see FTR lose here and give Bandito and Brody King that moment, and then let Adam and let Christian actually mess them over. At least so both sides could be understood. That's how I feel. I know it's wrong. I know you're going to be saying, what about what happened with Nick Wayne? And I'll get to them in a minute, but that would have made more better sense. Or the Bucks. Let's move to the last match. Mercedes Moné and the Athena versus Windsor and Storm. Now, let's make this very clear. I don't hate Windsor. I don't. But I don't believe she's a credible threat because she ended up feeling exactly like Megan Bayne. That's what she feels like, Megan Bayne. She hasn't lost yet. Well, technically she did lose. But she feels like Megan Bayne. So I don't believe she can do anything when it comes to dealing with a Mercedes Moné. I just don't see it. I will say it was quite interesting to see that they wanted to make it so apparent that Toni Storm was incapacitated, that she doesn't stand a chance against Athena because she's so damn dominant. And I don't know if I'm going to put any images in, but I think if I am, I'm going to put one right here. Athena pile driving a... Damn, that looked ugly. I'm not going to lie. That was the ugliest move there in the entire show. Seeing that Toni Storm, her head driven directly into the steps. Oh, that was ugly. And she played it up. She couldn't do a damn thing. She was laying there on the floor like, and then sits up and goes, Is that well done? Yes. So at least in this respect, for the women, I can buy an Athena doing whatever it takes as the forever champion to do what she's got to try and get that damn title. But here's the thing. And this is kind of a prediction. Doesn't mean it'll happen. But here's the thing. If Athena does not win the damn title at Forbidden Door, which she could, and I think she should, if she doesn't win, what was the point of all of this? To be honest, I know you're going to say, dude, that's how they do booking. Seeing that the face basically has to be coming up from the bottom. Well, here's the thing. We have seen Toni Storm go through everyone and has gone from the bottom and has won. And the problem here is she's done it too damn much. She couldn't have a credible threat that is just as good of a wrestler as she is. And not have her act like, can I beat this person? Because she didn't need to do that. She's already done that with Megan Bayne. She did it also before with Mercedes Moné, where she had some level of doubt, but then didn't have it. And I would have liked to see with Athena something different. We didn't get it. We're getting the same thing as we got the last couple of times when it comes to Toni Storm. Now, I'm not saying it's still going to be bad, because it's not. But if Athena doesn't win, and understand, I still love Toni, I'm going to be honest here, she's become stale. I'm being honest, she feels stale if she does not lose to Toni. Because she need... you see, I'm getting pissed here. When I get pissed, I botch. Toni Storm must lose to Athena. If she doesn't, she's become stale. I'm saying it now. She's become stale because they've done the same formula not once, not twice, not 3 times. With Athena, 4 times. We've had the same type of situation where she had to fight from the bottom to get back up. And even had doubt. So, let's hope that Athena wins. I had to say it. Now, let's go to... let's get to Nick Wayne. Because I did talk about it. Nick Wayne's foot is broken because of the attack last week. So, when you see the segment between Christian and Adam, where Christian says, I didn't change a damn thing. But Adam says, you know what? We sometimes need an asshole in our life, and this asshole is mine. He's going, I like an ass. I like a hole in an ass. That type of attitude was not that bad in the segment. But seeing that they're not on the same page is alright. because I didn't expect it, because it's rushed. This feels rushed. It feels rushed. That's how it feels. It feels rushed. So, seeing that he hasn't changed was fine. But then seeing that Nick Wayne is now with a broken foot and injured and he can't work in Forbidden Door, okay, what are they going to do? I didn't really think of Luchasaurus. I didn't think about it. But once his little vid pack showed up, giving him an injection, waking his ass up, I'm going like, are they going to bring back Luchasaurus as Luchasaurus? Or are they going to do Kill Switch? It's Luchasaurus? Don't know. They didn't even say what his name was. And that was the thing. No one has seen him since last year. And the thing for me is this. If you bring back Luchasaurus, he's got to be his own person eventually. They got to do something with him. And that's what I'm hoping for. With this storyline, with him being included, Luchasaurus finally finds himself and he does what he wants to do. Now, mind you, this is still about the story between Adam and Christian and them getting revenge on not only the Prodigy, but also FTR. But I'm hoping as a side gift, we get Luchasaurus going off on his own. He doesn't give a fuck about nobody. And then we get Luchasaurus on his own, either being a face or heel. My guess, he will be a face. Because people wanted to see him as a face. And now the question's going to be, can he be? That's just me. Let's see. Bryan Danielson on commentary. How did I feel about that? I actually enjoyed it. Wasn't that bad. He's not really a great commentator, but he does bring excitement because if you see Tony Schiavone, he's not really as exciting as Taz. And Taz was not there. So when we had a Bryan Danielson, I'm alright. It wasn't that bad. He wasn't like as exciting as a Taz. It's not like he has that type of excitement. But at least it's more better than what we get from Excalibur or Tony Schiavone. So I will give it that. Next, let's get to the final segment, which is going to be, and the name of this video, You Did This. Now, I think that's the best title for it. We get the segment with Hangman Page. He's talking about getting his ass beaten up by a MJF. And making it very clear, when you get in the ring with me, once you sign your contract, I'm gonna take my Stetson boots up your ass. It's not gonna go like here. It's gonna go right up in there. All of it is gonna fit in there along with the heel. I'm gonna stick the heel in it. That's what he was trying to say. But we get early in the night a Mark Briscoe coming out. I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna do something with Mark. What are they gonna do with Mark with MJF? What do we get? We get the Gates of Agony with their new boss in a Ricochet being coerced, kind of coerced by a MJF to try and help him. And what do? They tie him up, they knock him out, they throw gasoline on him and make it very clear, there are 3 things I want. No DQ, it's for the title, I can win it. Count out, it's for the title, I can win it. And I don't cash in my contract. You do this, I let Mark release. It's over, I'm done. If not, we're going to see a crispy biscuit in a minute. And then he caves in. Here's the thing. This isn't something I would put past MJF to do, because he's done some scrupulous shit. Here's the problem. It's rushed. Rushed. Due to the fact they didn't do it weeks or a month from now, where they could have done more with this segment. When you saw Swerve dealing with Hangman, when Hangman burnt down his home, you had a couple of weeks to deal with how Hangman burnt down Swerve's home. Hell, when it came to Swerve going into Hangman's home, you had weeks to build into their first match, like, because of their feud. Here, you get days before Forbidden Door, and it feels rushed, and I hate it. They could have done this at least 3 weeks ago. If you had to do 2 weeks ago and then you had to have 1 week to see the reaction of a Mark Briscoe or Hangman or MJF after the incident happened, it would give something more to the feud, which has been decently good. I've enjoyed the feud between them, but now you're doing it here. One was obvious. They needed to do it weeks ago. And it sucks that they did this segment last week where MJF got his ass tricked by it's pissing me off. You get this last week. Now you get it here. When this should have been done, Hangman and MJF should have been done a month ago. And then 2 or 3 weeks ago, you could have had this segment. Then you have a week or two to at least add to it to make it more interesting. No. We just get this and now we move on. And I'm like, it feels forced and I don't like it. It's not that segment is bad. It feels forced. I don't want to be given something by force to enjoy, even if I would enjoy it. I should be given the right to choose if I want to enjoy it. And I didn't get that. This was forced and I didn't like it. That's the title. This was forced and I didn't like it. They should have had this done almost a month ago. They didn't want to do it. They should have had the MJF thing at least a month ago. Didn't happen. Then this could have happened a week or two ago easily. I say 2 weeks ago. And then you have this week to react to. At least you would build a little bit more onto it. No. This is just shock. And that's the problem. Tony Khan is doing exactly what Vince used to do 10 years ago. Shock, short-term gain, long-term loss. That's what it feels like. Even when it's a story that we liked. Short-term gain, total shock value. But then long-term, it doesn't help the story. And it doesn't help the company. This is what I feel about it. But you guys tell me below. Peace.